adopting the
I'm sorry.
No, that's what you want.
I
That's what we
have a
want.
resolution adopting, which will be, I guess this will be local law number 4
Yes.
of the year 2022, entitled Adoption of the Amended Zoning Maps for the Town of Pine Plains. And if you recall, the town recently adopted local law number 1 of 2022, which amended the boundaries of certain of the Town of Pine Plains zoning districts. We have requested through PFJ that the Dutchess County Department of Planning create an updated zoning map, which actually accurately reflects the current boundaries of those zoning districts. Those maps are annexed to the proposed local law. I have prepared a local law adopting the revised and amended zoning district and other maps, because we have three other maps that, I think 4 of the maps, a total of 5, which would be included in the section 5. It's an attachment to chapter 275 of the town code. And the local law on the amended zoning map has been reviewed by the town board, the town's consulting planner. This is a type 2 action under seeker. It is not subject to environmental review. We scheduled a public hearing on the adoption of the local law on September 15th. And then town clerk was directed to provide public notice and posting, which was done. So the resolution that we have before you is therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby adopts local law number 4 of the year 2022, entitled Adoption of Amended Zoning Maps of the Town of Pine Plains in accordance with the requirements of section 275-5 of the town code and section 265 subsection 2 of the town law. And the town clerk is directed to forward a copy of the local law now to general code publishers and to Department of State for filing. And also we should send a copy of this to Dutchess County Planning. So if you have any questions about that when it's done, let me know. All you need to do is someone has to make a motion to vote on that resolution.
I make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Do you want a roll call on?
Yeah.
Okay.
We need a roll call.
Supervisor Walsh,
Aye.
Councilman Ambrose,
Aye.
Councilman Bartles, Councilwoman Jones.
Aye.
Okay, that's all done. Thank you. The other thing I have for you tonight is section 487(2) of the real property tax law provides that any real property which includes a solar energy system in accordance with the provisions of that section shall be exempt from taxation to the extent of any increase in the value thereof by reason of the inclusion of the solar system for a period of 15 years. So once you place that solar array and system on a piece of property, the addition to the property, not the property itself, the addition to the property is exempt for a period of 15 years. The law allows the town in those cases to adopt by local law resolution. I prepared a local law, what we call a pilot requirement. And this means that if the local law is passed and we have to vote on it at the next meeting, the town would notify any proposed developer of a solar system that we require the negotiation of a pilot program whereby the town would become reimbursed under that pilot program for a period of 15 years for an agreed upon amount in lieu of payment of taxes. I have provided that the town assessor would provide that notification. I don't know if the assessor is here. If they have any problems with that, we can always change it and have it notified in another way. But we do have to pass this local law, set it down for a public hearing at the next meeting, and hopefully we'll have what's the pilot program in place, which will amend our section of the town code with regard to taxation. So all we need tonight is a resolution. I'm not going to ask you to read this.
I can if you would like.
Above and beyond the call of duty, that we schedule a public hearing on the adoption of the pilot program for the next town board meeting in November. That would be
November 17th.
November 17th. 7:15, does that sound reasonable?
Or do you want to, yeah, or do you want to do it early as soon as 7:05 or?
What do you say,
Yeah.
Brian?
7:05.
7:05.
Yep.
So if we can just take a vote on the resolution setting this down for a public hearing.
I will move that we make that resolution.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And I'll take you through everything at the, hopefully at the next the November meeting. We'll have a pilot program in place.
No.
And how does that amount get determined? The pilot amount? By whom?
Well, it's the negotiation, the ones that I've done. I have participated in the negotiation process with the assessor for the town and the developer. Usually what happens is that the developer comes in with a proposed pilot payment, which we review and then
Okay.
sit down and negotiate.
Okay.
And the town board, of course, would have ultimate approval of that. The only question that I have is the notification. You have to notify a developer within 60 days of any of their notice of intent to establish a tier 3 solar project in the town. And I didn't know whether the assessor would have any problem with that. If the assessor doesn't want to take on that responsibility, we can amend the local law so it's done through another means. But
It would
most
seem that
towns-
to me, it would seem that the planning board would be able to give that notice. Because it would come into the planning board. I would like to have it specified what the arrangement for making the negotiation should
Right.
be, that we should specify how we're gonna deal with that. And obviously, we need the assessors on board if that's gonna, but I would like us to write down how we're gonna proceed on that.
Okay, so what I'd like if we could do is send this on to the assessors for their review.
Yes,
And
yes,
then we can discuss that at the next meeting, and we can always amend the local
Yeah.
law. And we actually can adopt this through resolution. The reason why I wanted to get this started tonight is because we have 2 applications, and we have a 60-day time period in which we have to notify the developer that there will be a pilot. But I'll undertake that responsibility, and I'll send a letter to them so that they're aware of this fact. So it's just a matter of voting to set it down for a public hearing, 7:10, I guess, at the next town board meeting.
Yeah, we did 7:05. We did.
7:05. we
Yep,
already
yeah,
have
we
one.
did.
Yep.
So this would be 7:10.
Okay.
Okay.
okay,
Can I get a motion on that?
So moved.
Second?
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
So I did want to let you know that we do have 2 applications. They really cannot, they're premature because the local law isn't allowing for tier 3 solar facilities isn't in effect until the law gets filed with the Department of State. But we do have noticed that Carson Power, through its Pulver's Corner Solar 2 LLC, are proposing to construct a solar system at 454 Bean River Road on parcel number 250960 and at Route 199. And they may both be one facility. I don't know. I haven't seen the application. But I will notify the attorneys for Carson Power that we expect to have a pilot law in place, and then we can talk about how we negotiate
That applicant has already been in for an informal discussion with the planning board.
Oh, okay,
And I think that the project is being looked at quite favorably in
okay,
terms of the location, but that's for the planning board to do.
okay, all right. And that will have to go through the whole review process.
Yes.
So we have public hearing and follow the new law that we just adopted today. See how that works. We have one new tax certiorari that was filed, Nature Walk LLC versus Town of Pine Plains. It's not a big one. I can discuss it with you if we go into executive session. I do need to discuss with you our pending tax certiorari proceeding after the meeting. We have one issue on 41 Hoffman Road. Is Drew here? Okay.
No,
That's
it's not.
That's the piece of property that
Correct.
that burnt down.
Yeah.
And the owner of the property, I believe, died in that.
That is
in
correct.
fire. So Drew contacted me to find out what we do in that case, and I've given him guidance on what has to be done. So if he needs to talk to me about it, we need to serve the executor, or in this case, I think it would be the administrator of the estate. But if Drew wants to call me about it, I'll give him more information on how to proceed on that. We have done that. I have done that before another town.
Okay.
I think that's it, unless you have any questions for me. I would like a few minutes for
Yeah.
executive session.
You wanna do that before?
Yeah, yes.
If we went to executive session now, it's for,
Let's do your
Let
executive
me go
session
home.
now.
let you go home. and rest.
Yes.
That'd be great.
All right. I move that we move to executive session to discuss legal matters.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
We promise we will be out for you.
This is gonna be the quickest executive. We reached 1,000.
That's all right. I just don't want to trip myself.
Okay.
Okay, this one, too.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I hope that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You guys are still muted. Still muted.
We know, Matt.
We're just waiting for
We haven't come
everybody
back
else.
yet.
My computer died and I was able to get it back going before you guys came back out. So
They're just coming out now. They're just coming out now.
Can I get a motion to come out of the executive session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're gonna get started again. Department reports. Has everyone received the highway report?
Yes.
Building inspector, has everybody received the building inspector report?
Yes.
Water and engineer, right?
Average daily flow is consistent to 55,000 gallons per day. 18 water meters have been replaced, so quite a few since our last meter reading. I had to order additional units, so a case of 24 heads did come in. So you'll see obviously the bill for that. They are quite expensive. So the case of 24 is running for about $4,500. So again, not cheap, but replace them. So keep in mind those are about 14 years old now. Maintenance of both chlorinator pumps were disassembled and cleaned. There were 4 utility markouts this past month. The water testing for PFOA, PFOS, and dioxane came back as non-detect. So again, those are chemicals associated with Teflon, silicones, plastic productions, and so forth. But there were no detects found. So indicating that, again, at the lowest detectable limit, the lab was not able to find any within our water system. So that was very good news. We have not had any issues. So we'll continue to be on what's known as a reduced monitoring schedule. So we'll only have to do that again once per year. Okay, so it'll be 4th quarter next year. Continuing to review drawing service lines regarding the EPA mandate as far as lead line services. So actually, the work that I'm doing as far as meter head replacement is coming in very handy because it provides me the opportunity of getting into the house, taking a look at the service lines and the construction and the materials that are being utilized for that. So it actually has been helping me when I'm putting this information together for the EPA. The 2022 3rd quarter meter readings were taken back in September. The bills were sent out at the beginning of October, and the Pine Plains Water Improvement Area anticipates moving forward with submitting any delinquent accounts to Dutchess County Real Property for re-levy. So with that, I prepared a resolution for consideration by the town board that would allow the Pine Plains Water Improvement Area to submit a re-levy report to the Dutchess County Real Property Office of delinquent accounts and to re-levy that amount on the property owner's 2023 tax bills, and that any proceeds coming back from the county be returned to the Pine Plains Water Improvement.
Let's receive a motion on
So
what are you gonna do about the one account with the where the water was flowing? Did you find a way of resolving that yet?
So I went back, spoke with the contractor that did some work on the house, and although he indicated that there were no leaks and anything of that nature, it did go through the meter, and the meter, or excuse me, the water usage within that account has returned back, so to speak, to normal. So I think there must have been some leaky faucets, leaky toilets, something of that nature that caused that bill to be that high. But it has returned down to a normal level. So
Wow.
that being said, they are responsible for that usage.
All right, thank you.
So we have a
Second.
motion. Do we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I also had prepared some information that I submitted to the supervisor regarding water rates as a comparison as far as the town of Pine Plains versus other areas. So I'm not sure if the other board members have received that. They did, wonderful. So I just like the board to consider that. I'm not going to present anything tonight. I presented before the November town board meeting, and then hopefully have a public hearing in December, so that way it can take effect in January. Right, but I'll present that to the board officially next month. That's all right. Anything else on water? From the board? Any questions? With res-
May I ask a question concerning water? What is the status of our line down South Main Street?
Well, there's the existing 4-inch line that sits down on Main Street, but I know we've been talking about ARPA monies, and I think the town needs to decide, in part, decide how the ARPA monies are going to be utilized on various projects, including the water project. So I don't think that that's been finalized as far as the
No, the
design.
reason I say is that it was mentioned here a while back. I heard no more about it. And I just wondered if there are plans in the works. That's all.
I think we just still need to work on the financial end of it before moving forward.
The preliminary drawings were done and the mapping was done and broken down into 4 sections.
So really, it's just determining, and again, the town board just went through its budget process. So again, that would assist as far as determining how to proceed as far as the overall, segment of the project, whether it's a certain smaller segment or whether we're going to be able to go with a larger segment. With respect to engineering, the softball dugout designs, drawings have been completed, so I'm in the process of preparing bid documents and specifications for that. Once they're done and I need to follow up on some funding questions with the county, I'll be putting that project out to bid in the next month or two.
Perfect.
In addition to that, I've just been assisting Karen with the CHIPS funds as far as the reimbursables. So her and I had met about 2 weeks ago. She's really done a nice job compiling all the information and the data. So we hope that we'll be able to get together again next week. So that way it can get submitted in for reimbursement. That does have to be done before November. I believe it's November 21st, if I remember correctly. But we've got plenty of time to do that. She's got a good handle.
Thank you for that, Red.
Can I go back? Are you
Absolutely.
finished? Yeah. Oh, okay. I just want to go back and mention on the our code enforcement officer's report, how amazingly high the activity has been. I just want the public to know that that's what's going on. We have a total of 38 new homes to date. We've never seen numbers like that in the time I've been around here. And the total of the total permits is for the year to date is 104. And last year, which was really high, the total was 70. So there's just a lot of activity, and he has been extremely busy and he's been doing, I think, a great job.
Recreation Department.
Just one thing, I'd like preliminary approval to buy a replacement liner for the ice rink. It'll be just under $2,000. And I have that money in mind.
I make that motion.
You can't.
You can't.
Maybe you can make motions, but not vote.
I don't think you can do it.
And that's pretty much it. Everything else, programs are running pretty well.
What's the amount on that?
Just under 3,000. I think it's 2,700 for the material itself and then shipping.
I mean, even if I can't make a motion, I can't vote. If we don't buy this liner, we don't have an ice rink. We have all the other things, and this liner will last us about 5 years. So, and the boards, we haven't had to replace any of our boards yet, any of the kick plates yet, so. And we knew going into it that the tarp was gonna be the one thing that we would have to replace.
And the tarp that I'm looking at is actually supposed to be even more durable than that. It's a thicker gauge of plastic.
Do I have a motion?
I move that we replace the liner.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is that all you have?
That's all I have.
All right, you can stay around for executive session. Okay. Has everyone received the animal control report?
Yes.
Police department.
We had 9 hours of court, 130.5 of patrol, 24.5 of admin, 5.5 of investigation, 26 of training, 69 of details, 14.5 of vehicle/other. Handled 14 complaints, 1 fire and EMS, 15 traffic warnings, 24 tickets issued, 2 arrests. I have another little segment here, which is called, I'm calling it outstanding performance by an officer. This officer is Officer Mark Parada. This took place between 8/5/22 and 10/2/22. On 8/5/22, which was a Friday at 7:15 PM, on Route 189 in Winchell Mountain Road, Officer Parada stopped the vehicle for following too closely. The vehicle turned out to be unregistered and had switch plates on it from North Carolina. The person actually drove all the way from North Carolina. On 8/10/22, Wednesday, Route 199 in Woodward Hill, stopped the vehicle for failed to stay in lane. The vehicle had left the scene of a property damage auto accident, and the operator of the vehicle was ultimately arrested for DWAI drugs. 9/3/22, a Saturday at 4:20 PM, Route 199 in Factory Lane. Stopped the vehicle for failing to stop at the red light. The vehicle was unregistered for 3 years and uninsured with Georgia plates on it. 9/5/22, a Monday at 12:20, Route 199 and Highway Boulevard. He stopped the vehicle for switch plates, unregistered, uninsured, uninspected. 9/18/22, which was a Sunday at 8:30 in the morning on Bean River Road. The driver was suspended, criminal possession of a controlled substance, a sizable amount of fentanyl and crack cocaine, drug paraphernalia, and hypodermic needles. Had an open warrant out of New York City and had just been released from jail in August. 9/30/22, which was a Friday at 5 PM, Route 199 and Highway Boulevard. Stopped the car. Both the driver and the front seat passenger was suspended. The vehicle registration was suspended. The back seat passenger was wanted and incarcerated DCJ. 10/2/22, a Sunday at 10:30, Hoffman Road. Stopped the vehicle. The driver was unlicensed operation of a motor vehicle, no insurance, unregistered, switch plates, and unsafe tires. So that's quite a bit of activity for one guy in one small town. That just goes to show you, you should have uninsured motorist protection on your insurance policy, because a lot of people are driving uninsured.
Is that all you have, John? Thank you. Old business. Anybody have?
Oh, do we want to accept Lisa Ferguson's resignation?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I get a motion on
I'll
that?
make a motion to accept the resignation.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anything else?
No.
You think of? All right, new business. The board has received the tentative budget. I need a motion to make this the preliminary budget.
Make a motion to make this the preliminary budget.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I would like the public to know that at our workshop meeting, the board went over line by line the budget items. And Don and I were not in favor of increasing the stipends for the board members, but we're in favor of the overall budget when we don't vote on individual lines.
A copy of that budget will be in Madeline's, the town clerk's office Monday.
Set the public hearing.
Yep.
I move that we set a public hearing for the proposed budget for the next town board meeting on
11/17.
11/17.
At 7:15.
15.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
And at what point will that budget be available to the public?
Monday
Okay, that budget will be available where?
in town clerk's office.
In the town clerk's office, okay.
Will it be online also?
Yes,
Yes.
it'll be on the website as well.
Okay, great.
I need a motion to, Dave Prentice has completed his probationary period at the highway and looking to increase his salary by $1 an hour.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
I also received a letter from Judge Huminston requesting a salary increase for Robert Hart Jr. from $10,000 to $13,000 a year effective 10/12/2022. Can I get a motion on that?
I'll move that we increase that salary item.
Can I get a second?
I'll second it, but I would like some discussion. And as far as discussion, why can't we wait till the first of the year? Is there a reason? When we would normally do our salaries?
We can discuss that in executive session.
Okay.
Do you want to hold off on that motion then?
I would
Let's
like-
hold off then.
Okay, we'll hold off on that motion. We also had interviews completed for the vacant HMEO's position. And we're looking to make an amendment to the highway policy as far as the amount of comp time that the highway workers can accumulate. The amendment will be to page 2 of the Pine Plains Highway Department policies and procedures, overtime section 1, changing it from 40 hours of comp time accumulated to allowing up to 120 hours of comp time to be accumulated. I'm looking for a motion in that.
I would make that motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's a point of it on this is that we have to redo the policy, the employee policies in the near future, and rather than piecemeal doing it. And so this was just an interim thing, trying to bring us up to be comparable with the other towns around us as far as the amount of time you can accumulate. I'm not even sure if it was clear in our policy what we were doing, but as a result of the interviews, this question came up
Multiple times.
multiple times. So in the interest of our interviewing, this would be helpful.
Can I get a motion to go into executive session? Can I get a second?
Second.
Aye.
And this is,
No
what's
decisions
this?
will be made.
What,
Personnel. No decisions will be made, so
there's the
We have to when we come back out, so.
yeah, so let's go into executive session, we'll make the decision.
All right, guys, thank you. Sorry I couldn't be there. Didn't want to get anybody sick though.
go.
I'll call you from in there. Okay.
I,
I move that we return from executive session.
Second. Aye.
All in favor? Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
Nope.
No,
No.
I need a motion for the salary increase for Robert Hart Jr.
I'll make that motion.
Can I get a
second.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye. Did we want to do that other, did we do that other salary increase?
Yes,
David Prentice, you okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
David and.
Can I get a motion to
You
adjourn?
got it.
You got it.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Amen.
Okay, who's going for drinks?
Not me.